Overthinking is a relentless psychological loop where the mind becomes trapped in a cycle of analyzing, evaluating, and worrying about thoughts that often have no immediate solution. To stop this, you must understand the cognitive mechanisms that drive it and apply evidence-based strategies to regain mental control. Psychologically, overthinking is categorized into two forms: rumination and future-oriented worrying. Rumination involves obsessing over the past mistakes made, words spoken, or opportunities lost. Future-oriented worrying involves creating what-if scenarios about things that haven't happened yet. Both processes activate the brain's fight or flight response, keeping the nervous system in a state of high alert. The first step in stopping overthinking is metacognition, which is the ability to think about your thinking. When you find yourself spiraling, you must stop and mentally label the activity. By telling yourself, "I am overthinking right now," you create a psychological distance between yourself and the thought. You are no longer in the thought, you are an observer of it. This creates the necessary space to choose a different mental path. Trying to suppress thoughts often makes them stronger. Instead of fighting the urge to overthink, schedule it. Give yourself exactly 5 minutes to think about every worry and problem on your mind. During these 5 minutes, let the overthinking run wild. Once the timer goes off, consciously shift your focus. This trains the brain to contain anxiety rather than letting it bleed into every hour of the day. Overthinking thrives on cognitive distortions, which are irrational thought patterns that feel like facts. Common distortions include all-or-nothing thinking or catastrophizing, where you assume the worst-case scenario is inevitable. To break these, you must use Socratic questioning. Ask yourself what evidence you have that the thought is true. Ask if this is a productive thought or just repetitive. Ask what the most likely outcome is, rather than the scariest one. Replacing a distorted thought with a balanced, evidence-based one can instantly lower psychological distress. Overthinking often disguises itself as problem-solving, but true problem-solving leads to an action plan, whereas overthinking leads to paralysis. If you find yourself stuck, ask if there is any action you can take right now to influence the outcome. If the answer is yes, take that step immediately. If the answer is no, realize that further thinking is a waste of mental energy. The mind cannot overthink if it is fully engaged in the sensory experience of the present. Mindfulness techniques, such as the 5-4-3-2-1 method, are highly effective. Identify 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. This forces the brain to process sensory data, which overrides the abstract loops of overthinking in the prefrontal cortex. It anchors the consciousness back into reality. Many overthinkers are perfectionists who fear making the wrong choice. To counter this, apply the rule of 2 minutes for small decisions. For larger decisions, set a firm deadline. Understand that good enough is often better than a perfect choice made too late. Since the mind and body are connected, changing your physical state can stop a mental spiral. High-intensity exercise or a change of environment forces the brain to relocate its resources. When you move your body, you shift the focus from the areas where overthinking happens to the motor cortex and sensory systems. Stopping overthinking is a skill that requires practice. It involves moving from a state of passive rumination to active mental management. By labeling your thoughts, challenging your fears, and anchoring yourself in the present, you can dismantle the machinery of overthinking. Your thoughts are suggestions, not commands. You have the psychological power to observe them, acknowledge them, and let them go. The loop ends when you decide that your peace of mind is more important than your need for absolute certainty.